Ascension news, the Portal of Sirius and the return of the goddess. At this time of the opening of the Portal of Sirius that happens around the same time each year, I would like to speak about the returning energy of the goddess. And just to give you the heads up, this brief talk ends with a meditation inviting the goddess to return to our energy fields, creating space for an inner marriage between divine feminine and divine masculine. The energy of the goddess was very present on the earth plane throughout the civilization known as Lemuria. Actually, the Lemurian year is said to have revolved around the rising of Sirius. After a long and magical golden age in Lemuria, there was a shift in the evolution of the human family where the energy of the goddess took a step back to allow the masculine energy across the planet to come to the foreground. This shift eventually led to the fall of the Lemurian civilization, and later to the fall of the Atlantean civilization, and it brought us to the current state of the world we have today. This period of time, where the masculine became dominant and also quite unbalanced, has been called the time of patriarchy. A time where men held all the power, moral authority, social privilege, and control of property and wealth. It also led to a great control of women, their bodies, and their sexual energy. This is a time where the world was energetically out of balance, that led to growth being rather slow, arduous and repetitive. This also led to the deeply ingrained collective belief that growth, and here I mean soul growth, was achieved solely through hardship, suffering, slog, sacrifice, and so on. That time is ending as the energy of the goddess returns. Now, I had a comment some time ago when I spoke about the return of the goddess, and the comment went something like, the goddess never left. Now, the energy of the feminine never left, but the power and authority of the goddess did. And it could only be summoned by those who knew the magical pathways to her presence. And those pathways themselves were declared by various religions as false evil. And anyone caught by the dominant patriarchal religions could expect the severest of punishments. Now the goddess is returning, and her return is greatly aided by the opening of the Portal of Sirius. Her return brings steady and unrelenting change to all old systems that still have their roots in the old patriarchy. This process of slow change has been going on since the 1960s, though greatly sped up in the 90s with a dramatic opening of the Portal of Sirius. In ancient Egypt, Sirius, the brightest star in the night sky, was long associated with the goddess Isis. The ancient Egyptians viewed Sirius as the direct celestial manifestation of the goddess Isis in the night sky. The rising of Sirius, in its first visible appearance just before dawn in the summer sky, marked the sacred new year and the life-giving annual flooding of the Nile River. To the Egyptians, the flooding of the Nile was believed to be caused by the magical tears of Isis, who was crying over the death of her husband, Osiris. The constellation of Orion, which to the Egyptians was connected to Osiris, and Sirius connected to Isis, moved together across the heavens, symbolizing the divine union of Isis and Osiris. As the portal opens, we can now reconnect to the rebalancing power of the goddess that returns not to dominate, not to turn the clock back to some golden matriarchal era. She comes to herald a new age of light. And this new age will not appear in some sudden solar flash, though the light of the sun, with all the light codes riding on solar light, is very active at this time, encouraging the movement towards a new age of light. This new age is first birthed within us, within the psyche, where there is a rebalancing, and in time a divine marriage between the animus, inner masculine, and the anima, inner feminine. So, in a moment, we're going to do a meditation on the energy of the Portal of Sirius and calling on the goddess Isis. Before we do that, I just want to mention 3 tracks which is in my 5D members library. The first one is a 5D Ascension exercise called Opening to the Light Codes of Lionsgate 8.8. The second one is a Golden Abundance and Lionsgate 8.8 transmission. And the third one, Lionsgate Transmission, Amplifying Your Vibration of Magical Success. So, ready for a meditation? Just focusing on your breath. And allowing that focus to bring you into the present moment. And I call your higher self to be with you. And to surround you in light, to hold you in light. Opening you to guides, angels working with you, and stellar races. Opening you to working with the incoming light of Sirius at this time. and also within this light calling upon the power and authority of the goddess Isis. So just taking a moment to focus on that light, the light of Sirius. Still very intense at this time. And also the light of the goddess Isis. And I call on the power and authority of Goddess Isis to begin to restore the full sovereignty of your crown chakra. Restoring its sparkling light. Infusing your crown with the light of Sirius. Opening the crown to its sacred power of communion with the universe. And in this opening, creating more space for the divine feminine and divine masculine. And creating space for that inner marriage between the two. Calling light now from Sirius into the third eye. And also the power and authority of Goddess Isis within the third eye. All layers and levels, restoring the sovereignty of your third eye chakra. Restoring the power of its sparkling light. Opening the third eye to its sacred power of vision. To see what is hidden, to see what your soul wishes you to see. Opening the space in the third eye for your inner feminine and inner masculine. Allowing a space for a sacred marriage between the two. calling that light from Sirius into the throat chakra. All layers and levels. And also calling on the power and authority of Isis to restore the full sovereignty of your throat chakra. Restoring its sparkling light. Infusing the throat with the light of Sirius. Opening its sacred power of expression and manifestation. Creating more space in the throat for the feminine and masculine within. Creating more space for an inner marriage between the two. Inviting the light of Sirius into the heart center, all layers and levels. And also the power and authority of Isis. Restoring the sovereignty of your heart. Restoring its sovereign light, its sparkling light. Opening the heart to its sacred power of love and connection. Creating more space for your inner feminine and masculine. Allowing the space for a sacred marriage between the two. Inviting the light of Sirius into the solar plexus chakra. And calling on the power and authority of Goddess Isis to restore the full sovereignty of this center. Restoring its sparkling light. Infusing the light of Sirius, all layers and levels. Opening its sacred power of creating healthy boundaries. Creating more space in this energy center for your inner feminine and masculine. Allowing the space for an inner marriage between the two. Inviting light from Sirius into the sacral chakra. And calling on the power and authority of Isis to restore the sovereignty of this center. Restoring its sparkling light, infusing it with light, all layers and levels. Opening your sacral to its sacred power of intimacy and sensuality. creating more space for your inner feminine, inner masculine. More space for the sacred marriage between the two. Inviting light into the power of your base chakra. Inviting the light of Sirius into all layers and levels of the base chakra. Calling on the power and authority of Goddess Isis to restore the sovereignty of your base. Restoring its sovereign light. Opening the base to its sacred power of connection with the sustaining power of the earth. Creating more space for your inner masculine, inner feminine. Allowing more space for an inner marriage between the two. Just breathing, opening, softening, relaxing. Feeling the light of Sirius into all 7 chakras, all 7 energy centers. Calling the power and authority of Goddess Isis into all 7 centers. So just scanning each center in turn and noticing what color or colors are being radiated within each center. And they may not be the colors you expect. Trusting your first impressions. Notice the color and radiance of each energy center. Just allow an intensification of that radiance. Many blessings.